Alright everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2026, which just wrapped up a couple days ago, and it had tons of information on everything coming up in terms of games, card games, mobile games, and even the anime. This video won't be focusing on the anime side of things or the card game part of things, but we will be talking about Xenoverse 3, Sparking Zero, the mobile games a little bit, and who can forget Xenoverse 2's final DLC and Fighter Z, even though that one's a little bit of a disappointment, but we're not there yet. Starting with Sparking Zero, there was a lot of things announced here, which may revive the game. Things including 30 plus new characters, a new game mode, costumes, chain supers, and new maps. Now, a lot of this I feel like is very overdue, including the new maps. The game really just did not have that many at launch, which is why I dropped off quite a bit. There's also chain supers, which seem interesting. I don't think it's going to affect gameplay too much. Same with the new sparking mode, which is just a double overcharge. It might make PvP more interesting, but the PvP scene for this game already is a little lacking. I think it's going to be really helpful for us PvE players, people that just play casually with your buddies, when they come over, or if you're just like casually hopping online. I think it'll add a little bit more variety. Obviously, the big meat and bones are the new characters, first of all. That is huge. This game already had a big roster, but getting it even more in line with those old Tenkaichi games is going to be really nice. Because you could really feel some missing additions like GT Trunks. I feel personally, he was my main in a lot of the old like Dragon Ball games, and him not being there at launch did kind of suck for me, even though that one's not too big a deal. There's also certain things like King Vegeta's here. I assume he's gonna have a costume for old King Vegeta, because the model they did use in the trailer was the Dragon Ball Super Broly redesign. So speaking more on that new game mode, it looks like it's gonna be an RPG type system. I haven't played those old Budokai games too much, because I was always a big Shin Budokai fan, comparatively. Like the Another Road on the PSP was absolutely goated. But from what I understand, you're just gonna go around the map. You have different like power levels. I assume taking down an opponent with a higher power level than you will yield more rewards than just defeating enemies that are weaker than you, obviously. It'll likely end in some sort of final boss, so you're just going to want to grind, get your stats up in as many fights as you can before tackling that. But that one seems like a little bit interesting. I'm very curious on if that is a free update, or if that's going to be locked behind this DLC. Speaking on the pricing, nobody knows what it is yet, but it's likely going to be about 40 Canadian, or I guess like 30 USD. Which is more most people are buying games. But yeah, it looks solid. It's not really going to be too big of an expansion, in my opinion. It might change the trajectory of the game, but we'll have to wait and see. This game is kind of cooked, if you ask me. But we love seeing comeback stories. So if it can hold up to the expectations of this game that everyone had at launch, we could see a revival. I mean, crazier things have happened. Next up, we have Fighter Z, which has a new character in Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. It does seem to be a bit of a disappointment for a lot of people, though. From what I gather, it seems like the model and animations aren't made by Arc System Works, the original developers, but by potentially Bandai or Dimps instead. People are saying the model's lacking a little bit of quality. Personally, I think it looks fine, and I think the animations are still very pretty. But we'll see more once the character releases, which should be when this video goes live. So I'll potentially be doing a playthrough with him, or not a playthrough, but just hopping online and seeing what I can do with him on Friday. Personally, I also think that the decision not to do another Fighter's Pass is very questionable. I think it's a big mistake. If you're going to be doing a new character for Fighter Z, I feel like full send it and bring the game back, especially after last year I heard they fixed the netcode. Anyway, that's pretty much it for Fighter Z. Let me know what you guys think about it. I think again, that it's completely fine. Alright, and now we can wrap up with these Xenoverse 2 announcements. Not quite Xenoverse 3 just yet, but we will get to that in a moment. We do have a final DLC coming out for this game, which is an absolutely insane thing to say. I've been playing this game since I was like 10 years old. I remember it vividly playing at my buddy's house on his PS3. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. Shout out to you, Felix. But yeah, it's insane to say that we are finally getting the end of Xenoverse, and what will probably be the end of the Time Patrol saga based on what happens in Xenoverse 3 trailer, which we'll get to again in just a moment. I assume it's going to end probably with Xeno, Trunks, and the Supreme Kai of Time probably dying, or just retiring the Time Patrollers in general, which I'm very curious to see how that'll play with Xenoverse 3. But there is a little more coming with that Xenoverse 2 final DLC. That being, we are getting, it looks to be a new form of Goku, and probably some more like supervillain forms, because we have one for Jiren, God Vegeta, and Rose, but it seems like we're probably also going to get one for Supreme Kai of Time, which was shown in the trailer, and likely Broly. I want to just throw a gamble and say we're going to get a supervillain Broly, just because it seems like such a slam dunk for them to do, since they've already done Golden Frieza. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be the end of Xenoverse 2, but it's going out with a bang. We are getting collabs as well for the mobile games. We are getting one for Dokkan, which is going to be a God Vegeta, a Xeno Trunks, and a Towa and Mira. That should be going live in-game about 8 hours after this video goes up, which I'm personally excited. I love Dokkan. I've been playing it since I was like 8 years old, 10 years old. I've been playing it forever, pretty much after the 2nd year anniversary. So personally, I'm very excited for that. There is a Legends collab as well on the 28th, next Tuesday. We don't quite know what the Legend Rare character is going to be for that. We do know we are getting a supporter Supreme Kai of Time and a Sparking Xeno Trunks. We are also getting one more Sparking as well. I assume this will all be on one banner, so I personally would recommend summoning if you are a Legends player. I feel like these characters usually tend to be limited, just like the 4th anniversary characters and just how long it took for 21 to return in Legends. So be on the lookout for that. I think it's pretty exciting. We don't have any animations for these characters yet though, so that's pretty much all there is to say on that front. And there is also a Squadra collab, which is just going to be a God Vegeta skin and a Xeno Trunks skin. To be honest, I don't know when they come out. They might already be out, or they might come out with Legends on the 28th. Personally, I don't care about Squadra at all, because I hate MOBAs. But, you know, if that's up your alley, that's awesome. So, that's pretty much it for Xenoverse 2. And now we can finally get to what I've been wanting to talk about this entire video. That being Xenoverse 3. Alright, and we can finally talk about what everyone's been wanting to hear, which is Xenoverse 3. Now, I can't believe I'm really just saying those words again. I mean, I'm just at such a loss for words. I mean, it's incredible. I've been waiting for this game for a decade, and I am actually glad I waited a couple of days before uploading this, because we did get a little bit of more news with a Steam page being created with a little bit more descriptions, including a new city name and stuff like that. So what should we talk about first? I think the biggest thing is that we are seeing this game next year. We saw that repeated in the Age 1000 trailer, and again now in this new Xenoverse trailer. Unless GTA 6 gets pushed back another year, I really do think we're going to see Xenoverse 3 next year, which is, again, just so incredibly exciting. This is like GTA for like dweebs like me, so I'm just so excited. Now, in terms of what we did see in the trailer, we did see a demon race like K-pop idol thing. I do think this means we are going to see demon race for sure as a CAC, just as a custom character. I don't see why you would include demon race as, like, you know, NPCs, but not as a customizable character. I feel like they're not stupid enough to do that, especially since Daima, which I know wasn't very popular, but that is like the big thing to push right now before Moro comes out, which should be, I guess, the next year following Xenoverse 3. But again, I mean, more focus on Daima led us to Demon Race, which is exciting. There's also one purple-haired guy that people are saying could mean androids. Personally, I'm not leaning towards it, because while it would be fun, I think it'd be like Android 17 and 18 type androids and not like a Cell type android. So I don't know what they would do for transformations, but I do actually have a theory on that, which I will discuss in a little bit. Next, there is just the overwhelming upgrade in animation. I don't know if you guys have played Xenoverse 2 lately, but that game is ugly as fuck. Everything looks like plastic and garbage, and you need so many mods to make that game look nice, which is why I haven't played the DLC yet, though I might in preparation for Xenoverse 3, as it does seem like the Time Patrol might be ending, so that is very exciting. There is also one little thing I haven't really noticed anyone talk about too much, which I think isn't the biggest deal, which is the Great Saiyaman 6/7. Get your jokes out now. But in the trailer, Brett's like Great Saiyaman transformation has the number 6 on it, and then when we like eventually, you know, come into the scene, our uniform has a 7 on it. So I assume we're playing as Great Saiyaman 6/7. I don't really know what happened to 3, 4, and 5. I think 3 and 4 might be in the manga, and I think that's Goten and Trunks, but I'm not entirely sure. I haven't read the Dragon Ball Super manga because I have been waiting for the anime. Now, in terms of that little theory I had for androids, this is also something I've not seen anyone talk about, but this is my everyone can go Super Saiyan theory, which has a bit more behind it than you might think. So if we are going to include androids, I did bring up that we don't really have like a traditional, you know, like transformation for them, just because everything is like, they're pretty standard. You could give them Potential Unleashed, which is a pretty boring transformation. But the big thing I would say is I think we could see every CAC just getting Super Saiyan. And now my reasoning for this is in that original trailer with Mr. John 1000 Dragon Ball, we could see him like copying moves, which could just be like a Xenoverse 3 thing, you know, just like, oh, whatever. You just equip moves from other characters by doing parallel quests, right? Like the traditional thing. My theory is that everyone is just able to go Super Saiyan now because it's been 1,000 years in the future, and in Dragon Ball Online, from what I gather, everyone could go Super Saiyan then, at least all humans could, just because of like 200 years of like 300 years of race mixing kind of does that, right? Even like 1% of Saiyan cells lets you go Super Saiyan. But in Daima, we did see a Majin, we saw Majin Do go Super Saiyan 3. So I think it's not out of the realm of possibility for every like race to get Super Saiyan, except for I guess Namekian and Frieza race. But all of these like more humanoid races, like I could see demons getting Super Saiyan, Majins, humans, Saiyans. We might also get like hybrid Saiyans as a race, even though, I mean, that's kind of completely unnecessary. We might see it as a thing, who knows. But yeah, I think that is very interesting, just because like we now have new like forms for like the Mechians and for Frieza. I think we don't really have to touch on Super Saiyan for those races, but I think just giving that option to all of the other races might be very, very interesting. So I just want to point that out as just a personal little theory of my own. One last thing to talk about from that initial trailer, which was just amazing by the way, was the in-game engine cutscene, and it just looking very, very pretty. And we also do see Gamma 1 and Piccolo are still alive, along with Bulma. Now, nobody really knows if this is like original Bulma or not. They did confirm that the character's name is Bulma, But at the end of GT, Bulma's granddaughter was also named Bulma, so they could just be doing like some like trickery, you know, just so everyone can't guess by the time the game releases, because we do have a year of theorizing and probably many more trailers to go here. So that's about pretty much everything I wanted to speak on for that initial trailer. Again, you should check it out on your own. I mean, it is playing in the background of this video, but the one last thing I'll talk about is that new Steam page that came out. We did get a new little section here with some interesting information. I'll read it out to you guys now, but it will also be on screen. About this game, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 is a completely new Dragon Ball experience, where you decide the hero you want to be in an unexplored Dragon Ball world. That we already knew. Age 1000 a whole new world. Step into a brand new future Dragon Ball universe filled with unique original characters brought to life by Akira Toriyama, the original author of Dragon Ball. In Age 1000, journey through developed and vibrant West City, exploring the bustling city, encountering characters, and uncovering new stories. Now take note of that, we actually do finally have a name for the city. A lot of people were just calling it New City, and I thought that was stupid, but it is confirmed to just be West City in the future. Take your place in the story and experience what awaits in West City. Guided into the ranks of the Great Saiyan Squad, you'll fight alongside allies as events there begin to take shape. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 delivers an action-adventure experience packed with intense battles and extensive character customization options. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3, the world of Dragon Ball, continues to expand. More information coming soon. Now, that is also interesting that it's called the Great Saiyan Squad. Honestly, that is like further like boosting my own theory that your player character will just be able to go Super Saiyan no matter what race you choose. But I mean, I'm gonna stop there just because if I'm wrong, this video is gonna look extremely silly. But yeah, that's really about it. I just want to thank you guys all for watching this channel. It's getting off to a good start, I feel. And thank you for everyone that checked out the Hotwire Trip Switch reaction. It did get a little bit more traction than I really thought it would, so I appreciate you all. I'll catch you next time on Friday with another video. I think Fighter Z. I think we're gonna try and hop in online with some Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Just with all this excitement around Dragon Ball, I think it's an excellent time to do so. And because I'm so bad, it's bound to be funny. So, alright, I'll catch you all later, and peace.